the classiest place on earth. Lilith's fine. Thank you for the concern. It was probably a me. We shall see. I gave Bill a marrow bone, and she just popped the marrow out and swallowed it whole. And then... bleh, everywhere. Fucking dogs, though, am I right? They're the best. We love them. I love you, bud. We love them. We love them, but Jesus Christ. I hope you're all doing well. Happy whatever. Dog logic, no shit. We freeze them. So they're 4 dogs. And I think they're like the femur or something of a cow, but the bone is like this big around and it's got the core of marrow in it. So you freeze them and then it's like a popsicle, you know, like they can lick on it and chew on it and it's cold and frozen and keeps them cool. Somehow she literally just popped the core out, like the whole thing, and just gulped it down. And I'm sure like a ball of marrow this big frozen in your stomach feels really bad. That's never happened before. No shit, I gave him one. You know what, Rod? Probably good, because she might have popped it out and just puked all over the house. And I don't think I showed you where the carpet shampooer is. So she is too smart for her own good. And then she, like, milks it. She knows that now I'm concerned because she's puking. So I'm kind of, like, on alert. You know, I'm walking around shampooing and cleaning the carpets. So she's, like, the most snuggly, cuddly little, like, Mom, I'm the cutest thing in the whole world dog today. She knows it. She knows what she's too smart for her own good. Dogs are too smart for their own good. They know. And Trick on top of it knows. He's like, someone's sick? Does that mean we get free treats? She is. She's a fucking sweetheart. She's just a neurotic. You know, I watched a YouTube video the other day, or listening to a podcast, whatever. But it was the origins of Lilith, like the biblical character. And almost every original translation of the word Lilith, like whether it's Lilu or Lililu or Lil or whatever, is like spirit of destruction, spirit of chaos, anger. I think I named her, like, I don't know if names, you know, do something, like if they have anything to do with how you turn out. Don't name your dogs after, like, spirits of vengeance. That's all I'm saying. They might turn out a spirit of vengeance. Happy Sunday, Reasonable. I hope you're doing well. Wait, a what? It's not loading for me and I'm nervous about it. Oh my God, did Zach tell you about the piss? I think he told me he told you. I completely forgot. No shit. The day we get home, like, we get home at like 3 in the morning. So we sleep as much as we can, and then I get up and I immediately start doing laundry and stuff. And I'm like, I want to wash the bedding so Rod has a clean bed when he comes and watches the dogs for TwitchCon. And Lil literally jumps up on the bed, sniffs the comforter, and just full out pisses. I mean, so much piss.
Now,
on the bed.
I'm going to fuck you.
With me standing there with the door open. Like, the back door's open, so she didn't need to potty. This was absolutely a case of, fuck Zelda. I know it. I know that's what she did. My dogs don't go to the bathroom in the house. They have not gone to the bathroom in the house in so fucking long. They don't do that. At all. No shit, I guarantee it smells like Zelda. Psst. And so Rod knows, like, there's like a mattress cover and then the stretchy sheet and then 2 down comforters on this mattress and then a quilt, because the mattress is like this weird memory foam and it's kind of weird to sleep on. So we put a bunch of down comforters and like stuff them in and it makes it more fluffy, kind of like a mattress pad. She pissed so much it soaked through every single blanket. Like within seconds. I was there, like bundling them up and trying to get them off the bed. She's a spiteful little bitch. No shit, you had to refresh it. Okay, let me see. Oh, apparently I can't refresh it. Oh, there we go. What the fuck? What is that? David, having pets is wonderful. It's a gift that keeps on giving. NVIDIA Nemesis McLilith bands. Yeah, it looks like someone hates themselves. Yeah, it's garbage from garbage people. You're not dreaming. It's real. But that looks like someone had so much spare time on their hands. Like they need a hobby. Yeah, that's real. Yeah, I see it. No, you didn't hallucinate that piece of shit. That's real. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. BDO, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving any swings for 61 fucking months.
That's a long fucking time, dude. 5 years. That's a long time. Thank you, and I appreciate you.
She's better, honestly, Rage. It was because I'm almost positive. It's because I gave her a big old marrow bone, and this is just based on what she vomited up and the fact that the marrow bone is now empty. You know those big, like, they saw, you know, like a femur bone or whatever, and then you freeze them, and then I give them to the dogs like popsicles. Lil popped the entire core out and just swallowed it. Like, I don't know how, but I saw that she just puked up a frozen core of bone marrow and then tried to eat it again. Yeah, it was one of those. So I think she's 100% fine. It was just a dog being too smart for their own good and then me suffering the consequences of that. Multiple garbage people can add to it. It's like, you know, Reddit tried cleaning itself up and people found other ways to be shitty. It was stomach overload, yeah. If you've ever swallowed a chunk of popsicle, it hurts. I imagine that's similar to what it felt like, the poor girl. But yeah, she just did like that harfing, like she'd walk a few feet and then and like foam. It was gross. It was gross. And Zach's sick on top. This is a sick house. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm saying. Knock on wood. It's a miracle. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. Like an ice cream brain freeze, but gross. Yep. And dog, they puke. Yeah, exactly. Hopefully there's nothing malicious in it. Wait, I really don't think it's worth giving publicity. I have worries even opening the actual Google Doc. I opened it. It's literally a Google Doc of just every game ever and the woke content within that game. I did a scan and closed it. Is there someone out there looking for that? You know what? I'm probably a sterile creature from that last night at Burning Man. Like, that was my last night at Burning Man. My last night at Burning Man was that. And then we packed up all day and left and drove all night long. Like, that was it. I'm sure I'm, like, sterilized or something on the inside.
I'm going to fuck you.
Cocky! I'm gonna burp.
Cock.
I almost burped when I screamed. That would have been weird. Nope. There it is. Thank you for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it a so fucking long.
That's a long time. And the biddies. Thank you.
Right, like the top 5 media to make you enjoy woke could be interesting, I guess. Yeah. It's for, yeah. It's interesting. Why? Nuh-uh. Cocky Jr.'s aging tomorrow. How does that feel? Is it so weird? I think about that, like, not as a parent, but the fact that 5 years to me is nothing, like, I've been streaming almost 10, is so, like, time is so different as an adult, because as a kid, you have these landmarks of just, like, growing and learning and becoming an adult. Once you become an adult, though, there's no more landmarks, you're just aging. Is it weird to watch and be like, wow, they've learned how to adult in the period of time that I learned how to, like, oh shit, I learned nothing? It would baffle me. Wait, Pip into Bears, what is that? When you're closer to a grown-up child that I don't have to do 100% for him, so pretty good. All right. I could see that. Yeah, once you don't have to, like, wipe their ass anymore. I still remember calling for my mother to wipe my ass as a child. Is that weird? I also have a strawberry dragon fruit spiked iced tea refresher. Doesn't dragon fruit not have a divided attention is kind of it's required. It's okay. You can do that. That's fine. My attention's seriously staring at my dog, wondering if she's going to puke again. So don't worry about it. We're both there for it. I posted a Facebook story about a mom who was happy with her adult children sitting around eating and being a family in a diner. That is me. 100%. I get that. I wonder what that's like, just to see that. I can't even fathom it. I literally can't even put myself there. I don't remember basically anything from pre 8 to 10 years old because lore. Dude, I remember weird snapshots. It's like like blips. And most of it, it's really, I've tried to talk to my therapist about this, but I don't have a lot of visual memories. It's a lot of feeling. Like, the memory is defined by just an intense, strong ass feeling. But not like a movie. It's more like how that movie made me feel. And I can say who was there and what was happening. I don't know. It's really weird. I have those too. Me either. Okay. All right. Touche. That's fair. I wish I knew more about sports ball, but I'm happy you guys are happy about sports ball. Yeah, but you can't see it. Same. It's really weird. It's like, I know my grandpa had stubble because I remember falling asleep on his belly at, like, family functions. So, like, if there was a Thanksgiving dinner, he'd be parked on the couch, and I would curl up on his, like, he had big old beer belly, and I'd curl up on it and go to sleep at every family function ever because they were so boring. And his stubble would touch my face once in a while. So, like, that's a core memory of mine for my grandpa. Or I remember the way he smelled Old Spice, the white, like, porcelain container with the little red, I think it was a red stopper in the top. Like, I remember those things. It's weird. It's so interesting. Memory is so interesting. No shit, Rage, the way that I know what age I was by what house I was in. I don't know how anybody categorizes, like, their memories of their life without having moved every 3 years like I have. Because that's how I know. Like, I'm like, all right, it was that house, so I'm at least from 2nd grade to 4th grade. Like, I know what age I am because the memory is placed in a certain house or a yard or something or a school. But if you didn't move a lot, I have no idea how people do this. Like, how do you even know what time it is? I remember walking through a Kohl's when I was 4 and reading all the signs as I walked by with my grandma and mom. Isn't that weird? I have memories like that too, that are just like, they're not, you know, trauma memories or core memories or anything that I cherish. It's just like a memory that's now stuck with me forever. I have those as well. And the other way, I have intense sensational memories and sometimes full images. The emotional content is less. Interesting. No shit, you spent your entire life in one house? 24 years? No shit, this is the longest I have ever lived in one place in my life, and it is 4 years, and it's in Colorado. It's the longest place I've ever existed in one place, like in one city in my life. That's crazy. I can't even imagine. I literally can't fathom that. I was, before I was in 4th grade, I was in 5 different houses. That is wild. Oh, music as well. Very much music. Yeah, my memories are based on the albums I listen to as well as the moving. Yep, music definitely. I mean, 9 Inch Nails. I can define a lot of my childhood by 9 Inch Nails. 24 when I moved out, my dad kept it into my 30s. Wild. I mean, awesome. I'm jealous. I was always super jealous. Sorry, bud, you were on my cord. I was always really jealous of people that, because, like, I feel like because I moved constantly as a kid and as an adult, I didn't really learn how to establish long-term relationships very well. Everything was very, like, single serving. Like, by the time I was in 4th grade, I was well aware we were going to move, so I just didn't care, and I gave up. Which is sad. Like, I just was like, we're going to move. Why would I even try to make friends? Like, what's the point? It was a joke in our family for quite some time that we would live somewhere long enough to get invited to a birthday party, but not long enough to go to the birthday party. And it was for no reason other than my mom likes moving. She just moved a lot. Like, one move was because my dad died, and that was it. I also remember the exact moment I told my parents I couldn't see something in the neighbor's yard when I was 5. Ever since then, I've had, oh, no shit. I always wondered how parents knew their kids couldn't see. That makes sense. One house. Wild. See, Dread, I feel like like most people assume I was military or something with the way that we moved around. We were not. It was just my mom. Same, never lived in a different house, grew up in it, stuck around to help my disabled mom, inherited it when my parents died. Wild. I'm jealous. You have those memories? Like, I have so many memories of so many different houses I can't go back to. Like, I would kill to go to some of the houses that I lived in as a kid just to walk through them and just refresh my memory of how the layout of these houses were and shit, because I have them so jumbled in my head, how the houses actually were, or I forget pieces of the houses. I'm jealous. Happy Sunday, Young. I'm very jealous. I've lived off of the same 3 exits on the highway my entire 40 years. Damn. My brain's going to, like, what does that do? Like, what does that do? How did that, make us, because obviously we have a lot in common, but what made us, like, what did it do to my brain to not be around the same place forever? I don't know. Interesting. I wonder if it's better for a kid's brain, honestly, just being in the same place and having, like, consistency and routine, shit like that. I remember I couldn't read huge letters on the far side of the store. Pretty sure I was at the optometrist the next day. That's kind of adorable. Oh, Bezbelly, that makes sense. I wish I still had the house that I was raised in and had it passed on to me. Me too. I wish I had the house my parents built. I'm in my third living establishment apartment as a babby for a year. Childhood almost 26 years, and then this apartment for 8 years. Wow. Dread, that was like my second and third grade. I went to so many different schools. I had like 3 different second grade teachers, same, but that was the year my dad died, so we were moving around a lot. We moved from an apartment to a house when I was 4 to 5 and then lived there well into my 20s. I can't even fathom it. Like, that's got to be so nice. I'm honestly very jealous. It just seems nice. Wow, we moved from an apartment to my house when I was 4 to 5, lived there well into my 20s. I cannot imagine. See, I remember every place I've ever lived in great detail, even the apartment. I find that I remember things in a very distorted view. Like, I remember things, but for instance, like, the house that my dad died in, for instance, we owned a motel, and the house had the motel office, like, built into it, connected. So there was, like, a drive-through awning coming off of our house, and that's where people would park their car, come into the office, check in, and then they'd go to the little strip motel. But because I was ages 5 to 7 in this house, everything is skewed and huge. And I'm well aware nothing in that house was that big. Like, it was a very rundown, old, like, early 1900s house in Washington State. Like a hunter's motel kind of thing. Not a nice, like, pretty skeezy on the inside. But everything in my mind is enormous. The sinks are enormous. The couch is enormous. Everything. That's the kind of stuff. And it fucks me up because I'm like, I know that wasn't that big. Like, I have dreams about these houses where I'm my size, but everything's that big. And I'm like, I'm 6 feet tall. There's no way the couch is that big. It's very weird. Skewage. Yes. I traveled a lot as a kid, but not moved. We did 2 weeks of what I called field trips every summer with my parents. I'm jealous. I remember we thought my brother was kind of dumb for so long because he struggled with so many things. It wasn't until his piano teacher clocked that he was left-handed. And once he could use his left hand, everything was easy for him. Raise your hand if you can. Raise your left hand if you identify with that one real hard. That's a big thing. I don't know if it happens anymore, David, but I've heard from a few people that the same thing happened to them. When I was in school learning how to write, it was Catholic school. And the way they taught you how to write was with perfect posture, upright like this. And the way they taught you is you had to sit on your left hand, put it behind your back, and it forces you to sit up. You literally, sit on your hand. You physically can't hunch. And they would make you learn how to write like this. But they didn't say, which hand would you like to sit on? They were just like, sit on your left hand. So my handwriting, like, no shit, I'm still a little pissed about this. My parents thought it was hilariously adorable that I wrote letters upside down for years to the point where they just didn't correct me. Please help. I just still to this day can't understand this. But like looking at homework from like preschool, my mom kept some stuff from preschool and elementary school. All of my E's are upside down and my K's are backwards. And it was literally all of that happens up until someone's like, hey, you can write with both hands. And all of the sudden, I'm not writing letters backwards anymore and upside down. Weird. I wonder if my parents thought I was dumb. No shit, Eat. Really? You grew up in the 50s? Eastern Washington, Pitsy. No shit. Have you ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite? It feels a lot like Eastern Washington. There's huge chunks of the U.S. that are just completely unpopulated. 100% unpopulated.
I'm going to fuck you.
And they just have no people.
Cock.
And we don't get things for ages. Like, it's real. Like, we were just a good few years behind the times, no matter what. Because we didn't, like, the nearest movie theater, mall, hospital was 2 hours away from my hometown. Like the little town I graduated high school from was 2 hours away. So we literally lived in a state of a little, like, it felt almost antique-y. Like, all of Eastern Washington feels that way, in my opinion, though. It just feels like people stopped because they don't have to keep moving forward because there is no society to keep up with. Literally, it's when there's so few people to interact with, your social skills suffer. Like, I'm sure part of the reason I'm kind of a fucking weirdo is growing up in the middle of nowhere and adapting to that lifestyle. But it's like, how do you explain it? When everybody in town knows you and you know everyone in town because there's literally only 1,500 people, the social skills go out the window because you know everybody. It's like maintaining social skills in your own home with your family. Yes, I would very much enjoy that. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. We don't do that anymore with anyone because everyone knows everyone. Like, so on such a personal level because it's such a small town. I think that's what happens. I don't know. That's just a theory. Because, like, just an example, I remember going in, we had Jim's video connected to the one gas station in town. And it was literally a trailer that someone had, like, sewed onto a gas station. And this woman sat at a table in it, and she was just surrounded by videotapes. And you would go in, her name was Janice, and you would pick a videotape. She'd write it down on a yellow legal pad with your name, and when you brought it back, you paid for however long you kept it. That was how I grew up renting videos. And Blockbuster definitely existed. I just had never been in one, and we didn't have one. But, like, that woman would never even look you in the eye. You would walk in, and she would just... All right, be back in 3 days. But she wasn't rude. She just... There's only so many times you can pretend you've met this woman for the first time, and pretty much you just know her now. And you're borrowing a movie, you're just walking. I don't know. That's all I can come up with. Because I think I have social skills, but, like... They were weird. I'm sure I was kind of a weird kid, like borderline homeschool-ish. I'm sure. I'm positive that had to have happened. Like, there's no way I could have avoided that. At the little country, no shit, like my town, we have one stoplight, and it's only because there's a train that goes through town, like not a passenger train, a cargo train. So you, by law, have to have stoplights. And at that stoplight, there is one gas station, and then Jim's video is actually gone now because that lady died, unfortunately. She was older. But there's no video shop. Literally, that was it. Like, that's the entirety of my town. But I don't know. I don't know. Viana! Thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it a swings. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent. It's a lot of fucking...
months. That's a lot of months. Thank you, and I fucking appreciate you.
In 8th to 12th grade high school that my brother went to had 3,000 students. I can't even... I know, Rage, it's crazy, no shit. My high school boyfriend had to graduate at the Tacoma Dome because his high school class was so large. My high school class didn't even fill a row of bleachers. My graduating class was around 32 kids. No joke. It was around 40, but the rest of them were in the alternative school because they got pregnant. So around 32 kids walked for graduation at my school. That's how small smaller than Napoleon Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up in a smaller town than that. Literally, there's just nobody, but you know everybody. And if you grew up in that town, chances are you're related to everybody, and it's crazy. And it's a weird culture. It's just different. It is wild. It's very, like, if, like, quantifying, you know, for instance, I have around 37,000 followers on Twitch, but the town I grew up in had about 1,500 human beings. That's wild. When you start quantifying numbers like that, upwards of 15 times the population of my hometown clicked follow on my channel. That's wild. No shit, Pitsy. It's like a thing. So I didn't grow up in this town. We moved because we moved so much. We moved there later on. So what I learned was that when you move to one of those small towns, you are hot commodity because everyone's related. So, like, the chances you might date a cousin are super high in high school. So people tend to, like, there's a lot of people that get married straight out of high school because they find the one person in town that's not their cousin. So, like, the vast majority of my graduating class got married to their high school sweetheart straight out of high school. It's very odd, but when you're a new kid, you are like hot sauce because you aren't genetically related to anybody, and everybody's like, ooh, yeah, new meat. It's fucking weird. But these towns, they just end up kind of that way. It's fucking weird. It's just a different world. No shit. You know our girl Elizabeth? She grew up an hour away from me. 2 hours. She, like that sheltered, beautiful creature we watched, grew up in the exact same environment at the exact same time as me. I identify with her sweet innocence so hard because I fought that shit so hard. I wasn't raised in it my whole life, so I wasn't, like, raised in that. I was dumped into it as a little goth middle schooler, so I was like, fuck this shit. But she bought into it. Ludicon, good morning. How are you? When your town has, I mean, every single time I see the opening thing to Letterkenny, and it's like, this is Letterkenny. It has about 5,000 people. I'm like, wow, that's a big town. That's big to me. Like, I still don't quantify numbers very well because that's huge. Like, that's so many people. I can't, like, I just don't know what to do with that. No shit, Viata, that's what I was just saying. My ex from college, his was held at the Tacoma Dome because his graduating class was so big. I can't even imagine. I knew I could probably still list every single person in my high school class to this day, and that was 18 years ago because there's only 32 of them. Wild. Wild. My hometown was about 600 while I was growing up. No shit, CERM has a smaller hometown. That's amazing. Do you have anything in your town? Is there a gas station? American small towns should adopt the Icelandic model app to double check that you're not too closely related. You know what's really gross and sad, and I hate to say it out loud? I don't think they care. Which is just... We only have one gas station and one stoplight. That's why I ask. I'm always curious, because, like, my town shouldn't have a stoplight. No, there aren't enough cars in the town to validate a stoplight. But we have literally a railroad track goes straight through the middle of Main Street, so that's why there's a stoplight. I'm always curious why we have them, because I'm guaranteeing your town's probably a through town, right? That's what mine is. It's on Highway 395, some major highway that goes from west to east in Washington State, 3 something. It's been years since I lived on it, but it's a major highway. So my town, my hometown that I grew up in, is essentially a gas station town. It's a truck stop, and that's all there is. 395. Thank you, Ludicon. Boom. That, or Highway 9. Highway 9, right? That's the other huge one that, like, all the accidents are on. It's been so many years since I lived there. Please forgive me. But Highway 9, I remember my first hospital I ever worked at was on Highway 9. And the sheer amount of motorcycle accidents I saw come through that, oh my God. No, it's cool. I mean, you just hear about them. I haven't lived there for 18 years, so, like, we're both guessing here. No shit. Oh my God, I love Classy Packs. Dude. Okay, so the fact that you were searching for Classy Packs and you found me, he's one of my besties. He's literally the good twin. He's the shit. Classy Packs is amazing. We've been friends forever. No shit. He's my tall twin from Canada. He's the good one. I'm the American tall. He's the Canadian tall. I love him. That makes me really happy. He's seriously one of my favorite people. Fuck yes. No shit. Pax is one of my favorite people I've ever RP'd with in my life. Ever. He's incredible. Please follow Classy Pax on Twitch, by the way. Seriously, one of my favorite people. He's so fucking talented. 3, but the owner of one of them is a cunt, so no one goes there? Oh, that's fantastic. I wonder how they maintain staying open. But I don't know. I think the most small towns I drove through was when I was driving through Kansas and needed gas. That's literally it. They're just gas stations. That's what my hometown was. There's no reason anyone would go to Kettle Falls, Washington State, unless you were driving through it. Oh my God. Super weird story, though. Short story. I did meet someone at Burning Man who knew what Kettle Falls was, which is, again, the middle of fucking nowhere, 1,500 people, nothing. Like, there's nothing. There's no reason anyone should know what that town is. Some rando at Burning Man, we were just bullshitting. He was very drunk at the pirate bar, and he was like asking me questions, asked me where I was from, and I was like, really small town in Washington. He goes, really, where? Kettle Falls. Oh my God, he knew what it was. Crazy. Like, no one should know what that town is. That is so middle of nowhere. It's literally like the most northeast corner of Washington State you can get without going into Canada or Idaho. It's the middle of fuck nowhere, man. You only know it if you drove through it. A pass-through town. It's a pass-through town. That's basically what we are. Yeah, there's no, I mean, literally there's Boise lumber. Unless you work there, which you probably live there, so why would you do that? Never had an issue with being related to everyone in town. Neither have I, but that I think, again, just an opinion, I don't know. I think it's a case of my family being fresh off the boat. I'm not like a Plymouth family. I'm one of the ones that came over way later. So my family hasn't like proliferated yet. Far enough for me to worry about that. There was one I stopped at where all of the townsfolk seemed to be in attendance and just staring at me weirdly. It was a station that was not self-service. Weirdest experience ever. I believe it happens. I believe that. Like, it's kind of like running into people at the store. A clot will start to form. It's like one person stops for gas and then another person, and they happen to know each other, and they'll start bullshitting. And then someone driving by will be like, oh my God, Ted and Tim are at the gas station. I'm going to pull over and get myself some milk. And then Ted, Tim, and Bob are all talking in the gas station, getting milk and gas. And then Tammy drives by, and Tammy's like, oh my fuck, I fucked all three of them gents. I'm going to stop by and get myself some milk as well. And it just starts to go like that. And because everybody knows everybody, they know they don't know you. Like, one of the number one things I was ever told in this area of Washington State was, if you feel like you're being stared at, you are. It's not a comforting feeling, but I was definitely told that. Hard. A lot. And you are. You're stared at, because they know you don't belong there. Like, my high school principal is still my Facebook friend and still wishes me happy birthday on my birthday. Like, it's that level of small town where everybody just knows. I could go home right now and just walk into my high school and know everybody, know all the teachers still. The ones alive. It's crazy. It's just weird. Kettle Falls sounds like the name of a town in a horror story. 100%. Devil's Kettle. It is. And it's literally named after these weird formations that occur in rock from waterfalls. So, like, you can go out in the woods and you'll find, like, an enormous boulder that's, like, half, revealed throughout the ground. And it'll have all these crazy, like, craters in it. And apparently it's, like, from the glaciers or from waterfalls wearing craters into rock or whatever. And those craters get called kettles. Kettle Falls. I know. I grew up in, like... It is something out of Stephen King. I can't even make this shit up. First day of school, the kid in front of me alphabetically turns around. And I'm like, hey, are you? And he goes, yeah, I am related to that guy who killed his whole family on Christmas and left him in a ditch. Because right before I moved there was a string of Lemke murders where a kid murdered his whole family on Christmas morning and left him in the ditch to play an N64. And his cousin sat in front of me for my whole life because of alphabetical order. This is fucking, like, you can't, like, it's real. Like, people move to the middle of nowhere for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's been proven time and time again. Nobody moves to fuck middle of nowhere to do good things. Tammy's a cunt. My bestie moved to Mississippi and joined a church group for making friends and met someone that moved to our same city. Wow, that's very creepy. Small fucking world. My parents moved there trying to put a bit of distance between them and my grandparents. Hard same. My mom was trying to get away from her family. Far enough to not see each other every day, but not far enough to see. That's literally exactly the same. Is that weird? No shit, exactly the same. There's the frozen puke bandit. She's tired. One of the UK's political parties just voted to completely pivot on their outlook on the UK high-speed rail and are now pushing for a huge infrastructure project completion. Is that a good thing? Dude, Betsabelli, it's like that, but instead of like a thick overgrown forest, imagine more Kansas. Like the vast majority of eastern Washington. So like if you looked at a map of Washington State, there's the Pacific Northwest, which is like Seattle and the Puget Sound. Then there's the mountain range. Everything east of the mountain range is flat, brown, and dry. Everything. There's something called a rain shadow that happens where the clouds squeeze all their water out before they cross the mountains. So like the Pacific Northwest itself, like the Puget Sound and everything, is literally a rainforest. It is the Pacific rainforest. It's fucking phenomenal. There's fucking moss hanging on everything, huge trees bigger than your house, immaculate. You cross the mountains, desolate, tumbleweed. It's wild. But imagine that. And no, it's crazy. I could literally Google it for you. The Kettle Falls sign for my town still says the population on it, and it's still 1,500. The populations don't go up. It's crazy. Driving the longer routes on GPS during my road trips to see more of the countryside. I like seeing the countryside. That's better. I appreciate that more, honestly. You shush your mouth. There's no reason I bought 40 acres of woods in the middle of nowhere.
I mean, I'm not saying we're planning to create a witch house out there or anything, but like... You didn't move to the middle of nowhere because you like people, yeah? Because like... I want to move to the middle of nowhere because I don't like people.
Come on now. No shit, sir. Exactly the same. Like it was, I could drive from Kettle Falls to Seattle with my eyes closed. That drive is so familiar to me because that's exactly what my parents did. They moved far enough away that my grandparents couldn't visit daily and just drop by, but we were only 5 hours away, so we could drive for all the holidays. Exact same. That's fucking hilarious.
Show me where you're pissed from. Show me where you're pissed from.
Show me where you're pissed from. Thank you for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it a swings cuteness. I fucking appreciate you. That's a lot of months.
Thank you, love.
Dude, Panda, I'm reminded almost every day. I feel you on a spiritual level. It's, yeah. Shadow, like the guy who was last man standing from last night's movie. I mean, not near as cool. Not near as cool. Absolutely, we moved here because the population is only in the 3 digits. Yeah, that's Eastern Washington, no shit. To this day, if you live east of the mountains, you will have an area code 509. They haven't run out of phone numbers for Eastern Washington yet. So it's like a thing. We call ourselves the 509ers. Like if you still have a 509, we know you're from anywhere in Eastern Washington though. It's literally anything east of the mountains. That's what your phone number is going to end up starting with. And they haven't run out yet. That's how few people are over there. But on the other side, where it's Microsoft and Amazon, houses are $1 billion and no one can afford to live. It's really fucked up. It's crazy. Like, really weird. It's going to be a witch house. Oh, 100%. I tell people I'm from Washington, they say DC all the time. You know what's crazy? I lived in Washington, DC, and now I just let people guess at this point. I stopped correcting, and I stopped even just being specific about it. I lived in Washington State and then moved to Washington, D.C. and then moved to Baltimore and then Virginia and lived all in that area for a while. So now when I say Washington, I just watch the conversation to be like, did they pick up which one it was? Are there context clues? I just stopped. I just don't. Washington. I'm assuming you'll figure out which one I'm talking about via the context. But same. Yeah, I get asked that a lot. I'm like, no, the state. They ask, is it always raining? I say, no, I live in the desert. They say, there's a desert in Washington. It's so real. It's literally my life. And then I show people a picture of where I grew up, and it's like an enormous wheat field that's just desiccated with like one pine tree in the middle of it that looks like it's on fire, has been on fire, because the trunks, the sap seeps out of them and then burns, so it turns the trunks of all the trees black. So all the trees in Eastern Washington look like they've been set on fire, but chances are they haven't yet. It's just burning sap. It's such a thing. That's so relatable. The entire UP is area code 906, no shit. So on September 6th is 906 Day, and most local businesses have some kind of special. That's amazing. I really hope on May 9th they do that something in Eastern Washington. I don't think there's enough people to even come up with it. No, my hometown is all of Fairfax County. So Rage, those 1,500 people from my hometown, that's 3 counties combined. Isn't that fucked? It's like Stevens, Ferry, and one other one. I can't remember the third county. Stevens County, Ferry County, and one other county. That is 3 huge chunks of land is only like 1,500 people. It's pretty wild. When people ask where I'm from, I just say middle of nowhere, Maryland. I mean, I feel that. I usually say DC or Washington. I got in the habit of just saying Washington because people that live in Washington, D.C., they don't say D.C. and they don't say Washington, D.C. They say Washington. I live in Washington. I'm going to Washington today. That's what they say when they're going to the city. So I just got into that. And so I don't have like signifiers as to which one I'm talking about usually. So I try to like back it up with like, oh yeah, I was driving from Baltimore that day or something just to give some context as to which fucking Washington I'm talking about because they're two different sides of the world. No shit. I play Red Dead Redemption 2 sometimes. I'll point to the land and say, that's what my city looks like. Yeah. It does. It legitimately, like, real tumbleweeds. Haven't yet. Katie, you're planning something? I don't plan shit. What? No? Maybe. Whoa. When I was living in Fairfax County, it was 1.1 million in one county. No. Ludicon, I'm here to tell you, it sucks. Growing up, that middle of nowhere life, like, I'm sure you're like me in that a neighbor was 3 miles down the road. Like, your neighbors were miles away, but that's a neighbor. Like, the nearest person on the one road highway that your road is on is your neighbor. That's how I grew up, and I literally, I mean, it makes me mad. I get a little passionate about it. I fantasized about white picket fence, house in a neighborhood, neighbors, kids to play with. I fantasized about that my whole childhood. Like, just like, oh my God, I would watch like TV or a movie and be like, there are people who just live next to each other and kids can just walk out their front door, walk next door and go play with each other. Amazing. There are paved roads in the world where people can just ride their bikes. Paved roads? What is this? Like, I'm literally like, if I could have rubbed one out, I would have at that point. I would have been like, holy rollerblades. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was fake. I thought that was movie land, like Mr. Cleaver Beaver or whatever the fuck that show was. I grew up without cable, again, middle of nowhere. I don't know any of these shows. But I fantasized about it, and I can tell you as someone who now lives in a neighborhood with a white picket fence and lots of close neighbors, I'm in hell. Never take for granted that you can walk outside with your shirt off and just have a cigarette on your porch and a cup of coffee and shit with the door open and no one is going to know. I can't open a door or a window without someone looking in it. That wall behind us is literally against a sidewalk. If I pulled that curtain, there'd be people right there. People that I don't know. Not my people. But they're allowed to be there because that's a sidewalk? I hate it. I'm living in an existential fucking hell. I've never been more miserable in my life. I'm literally on extra medication because of this fucking city. Don't do it. I'm being so serious. Stay the fuck away. Stay in the middle of nowhere. Hell. Hell. Elementary school 1 block from me. You know what I hear every day? Ring! Recess. I hear recess. I don't want to hear recess. I don't want to hear shit. Trust me, it sucks. Don't do it. Don't do what Katie did. The moving my whole life has made me existentially very just never settled and never happy where I am. So I constantly am still moving as an adult, and I know, stay away. It's the worst. And those of you who don't know any different, I'm here to let you know you don't have to do this. You can literally walk outside first thing in the morning, titties out, enjoy a cup of coffee on your porch. There are places where you can do this. It's amazing. I adore being able to walk out and nothing and no one can see me. You have to come halfway up my driveway to even see my house. That's how I miss that. I miss that so much. When I moved to the side of my property, I get much more tree barrier and I'm so excited. I'm stoked for you. I miss it so much. Dude, cuteness, my perfect house is a cabin on the peak of a mountain with perfect internet and Amazon delivery. Just bumfuck middle of nowhere. I just am so appalled with humanity. I don't want anything to do with them anymore. I live in a 7th floor tenement building. There's 4 buildings forming like a yard. 2 of them are 2-floor buildings. Every summer, my friend's mom basically had their door open the whole summer so you could come and go. No shit. I can't even imagine. I mean, I didn't grow up with locks or anything. Like, being in the middle of nowhere, I to this day don't have a key to my house. I've never had a key to my parents' house. Like, I was a lock key child, but like we didn't lock our doors because middle of nowhere. It's definitely just different. Sounded like an unhinged turkey. No shit. as a kid, I could walk out on my parents' back porch and gobble into the forest, and hundreds of turkeys would come out. I'm not, I wish I was making that up. Like, turkeys are so stupid. I don't even know. I'm not like a master turkey gobbler or anything, but there's turkeys like gather in hundreds and they live in trees. And so if you go out first thing in the morning and you gobble or make a noise, they dive bomb out of the trees like big feathery fat sacks. And they come into your yard like, and I would gobble at them and they would gobble back. I really grew up weird. I wish it wasn't real. Yeah, living near a school has been fun. Honestly, we invested in the property near a school because it's going to resell so nice. Like, someone with kids will buy this house and love it because their kids can walk to school. That's why we got it. Honestly, it's a great resale. Cities are great. Nothing worse than a place where you see the same 15 people every day. You know what's better than that, though? Like, the one thing better than that? Never seeing anyone. Amazing. It's fucking delightful. Like, making the conscious choice to see people, I guess. That's what I miss. Whereas now, I'm either trapped in my house or I'm seeing people. Those are my two options. Period, end of story. Because I'm in a city, I don't have solitude. Whereas when you live in the country, you can be like, hey, I feel like seeing people, drive into town, see people, enjoy them, and then fucking leave. Oh, I miss it so much. It's the choice to see. Whereas I don't have that. There are always people outside any fucking window or door of my house. There are people. And I don't have the choice whether or not they're there. They just are. Oh, God, I miss it so much. Latchkey kids, that's the term. Yes, that is what we were, minus the key. You know what's funny? My dad tried turkey hunting 1 year, Vile, and he filled the turkey with so much buckshot that it was not worth even preparing, and he never turkey hunted again. I'm not a big turkey fan, so I wasn't mad. Turkey's like, meh. The quarantine definitely made me hate going into crowded places. That, too. I do not trust that people are washing their hands. I was a latchkey kid. I'd be in charge of my younger brother and sister until one of the parents got home from work. This started in 7th grade. Same. Mine started when I was in 4th. I have better. This was... Wait. There was... It's jumping. Sorry, my chat did the doubly thing. There was this one little town between Fairfax County and the county next door. It's on a watershed. It's a deep forest. Like, no house is built there in 30 years, so these trees are dense. It's 30 minutes from civilization, but the forest is so dense and the plot's so large that you can walk out naked and no one can see you. I miss that. Pitsy, I know. The rest of the world has seemed to figure that out. And honestly, it's not like Americans want to interact 24/7, but we've all been hardcore, like, trained from childhood to just be walking customer service associates. This is a theory. I just think this because that's how I was raised. But it's like, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night if I didn't smile and acknowledge every single human I came in contact with that day. I would lay in bed and be like, I ignored that person. I'm a terrible person. I ignored that person. Oh my God. Because it's like burned into me that I need to, hi, how are you? Oh my God, great. Fantastic. Wow. So magical. Sick. We should definitely hook up. Take my number. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so hardcore trained into me that is who I'm supposed to be in public, that I can't just go about my day. If someone catches my eye, I will smile and nod. I can't help it. I get mistaken for a worker at most places constantly. Whereas when I travel, I notice people, it's not they're rude in other countries. They just mind their own fucking business. And I would love that. I would love to mind my own business, please. But if I do that, I'm deemed rude, unsocial, unapproachable. It's a fruit fly that's been bothering me for 2 days. So my customer... If you look at clips of myself when I first started streaming, my voice is up. I can't even get it there anymore. My voice is up here. Everything I say is up in this register. Hey guys, how are you today? Great. Oh my God, butts and stuff. And slowly throughout streaming, I've just now given up on everything, and I sound like this all the time because it was so hard-grained. I'm no shit, Mike. I was going to say, this is why I love the East Coast so much, because the East Coast is that place where I could live in a city and not feel nauseated by the people, because the East Coast has been around long enough that they dropped that facade of, hi, how are you? Oh my God, great. You're having such a good day. Me too. Delightful. I'm super interested in every detail of it. Tell me. East Coast is like, and that's enough. You're not a rude person. You've done your due diligence. You acknowledged. It's all you need. But for some reason, the rest of the world is like, East Coast is so fucking rude. Oh my God. No, they're just not fake lumps of crap. They've got shit to do. They have a life of their own, just like you do. They're respecting your time and by not wasting it, in my opinion. Time is limited and you never fucking get that back. I don't want to hang out with someone that wants to waste my fucking time. Mommy, who's that? Oh, that's just some streamer who likes to get up with their tits out in a morning coffee. 100%. Bras are prisons. If you're some kind of country bumpkin, please don't fucking move into the city. We don't want you here. You don't know how to do it, and you're not going to learn. No, we won't. But for those of us where cities are natural terrain, we know how to become invisible in a crowd, and it is the best. David, I'm going to tell you, you're not invisible. I see you. I see you. I see you, and I'm wondering why I can't be nice to you. Oh, dude, Bezbelly, it's seriously, looking at old clips or old videos of myself is a little unsettling. Because I sound it's higher than this. I have such a high voice because I put on my customer service voice, and just streaming every day for so many years now, it's naturally stopped. And you're just getting normal voice now. Bras are prisons. Binders are even more so, but for some reason I prefer that. I think binders are more comfortable. I've worn a binder in theater before, and I think it's because bras and shit are designed to make boobies look nice, not support them. Whereas a binder, it fucking locks that shit on you so you can move around without having these fat bags rolling all over your body. It's incredible. It's why I like bralettes over bras. No shit. Brooklyn fights. Some folks are for sure rude. I mean, well, there's fights everywhere. Yeah, I mean, some people are rude. Look, I will not sit here and be called out for being a happy-go-lucky guy and from the East Coast. How rude. How are you, love? I hate crowds. That's why I only go to small conventions where you can actually breathe. Crowds suck. I think I've just gotten used to them at this point, which sucks. Bras are prisons, but also huge boobs are, I mean, that's the caveat. Like, I definitely will never take for granted that I can go braless and no one can tell. I have a lot of empathy for the big tittied bitches out there. Like, on one hand, super jealous, and I hate you because I would love to not look like a boy when I lay on my back. But also, broken blood vessels, horrible underwire, weight of titties, back problems. Like, you look better than me naked, but you hurt all the time? It's such a fucking toss-up. I don't even know. I feel bad. I feel bad. It sucks. Like, I get it. It sucks. Yeah, every single friend of mine who has large breasts has back problems. I don't know someone who doesn't have back problems or shoulder issues or broken blood vessels from a bra if they have big boobs. It's 100%. And it's literally, you guys are what has kept me from saving up and getting a tit job my whole life. Like, at this point, I don't care anymore. But when I was younger, I definitely wanted just mildly bigger. Like, I just want my boobs to look awesome without, like, without a bra pushing them up. But learning from all y'all big titty motherfuckers out there, it's literally paying for pain. I would quite literally be giving myself an injury. That's what it sounds like getting breast implants would be like. And I'm not against plastic surgery or breast implants if that's not clear. I think do what you want to do to your body and be happy. But like just having so many friends who have told me it hurts you, every part of your body, for me to go do it just feels like kicking you all in the balls. Like, I know you told me this would hurt and I would regret it forever, but I'm going to pay 10 grand every 10 years to do it anyways. What's the point of talking to your friends about something if you're just going to fucking brush off everything they tell you? You know? Ludicon, have a beautiful day and thank you for hanging out today. And if you find Pax, you tell him I love him. Same, exactly. I'd love him, so does the Hubs, but fuck the pain, exactly. Everybody wants some big fun bags, but fuck that. Surely there's a golden middle ground where you can run without throwing your back out. It's It's not even from running. It's the weight of the boobs just holding their shoulders straight is giving them back pain. Like the weight. I had a friend when I was in college who she was just one of the most stunning creatures. She was like a 5'9" Korean woman who was thin as fuck and just had enormous titties naturally. Like one of the most blessed humans I've ever seen in my life. And she actually, I don't know how legit this is or how well it worked, but she got on a scale butt naked and then had her husband pick up her boobs, trying to figure out what her boobs weighed, and they were almost 15 pounds. And that's just doing that. She looked like anime. She looked like anime. She had a perfect body. All natural. I was so infinitesimally jealous of this woman. Perfect body. Like, what the fuck? Muscle tone, nice ass, huge tits. Huge. Naturally. But around 15 pounds, just imagine slinging that onto your shoulders all day. And then if you wear a bra, the only support you have is this. This fucking centimeter piece of spandex is what's going to hold my 15-pound udders up. Like, I've got itty bitty titty committee and I get little broken blood vessels. Look at it's already caused a line. Look at that. Look at that. This is so good. I'm so glad this has happened. You can go to my OnlyFans and prove to yourself I have no tits. And it still does this. So I can't even imagine adding on, actually, like my boobs are probably 2 pounds. I don't even know. They're so small. Adding on 15 pounds weighing off of this, it breaks blood vessels. Like I've seen it on my friends. It just looks horrible. So if you have a partner with huge ass titties, you worship them, you rub them and give your partner a back rub because they're in pain. I heard about big boobied lady that had loads of back problems because it turns out she'd been leaning forward when walking the stairs. I bet that's, yep. So she could, oh my God. So she could see where she was walking because of her boobs. Oh my God. Until someone just taught her to trust herself. Holy shit. I can't even imagine. Wow. That's crazy. I believe it. One of my best friends, when he got top surgery, he lost 10 pounds of boob weight. See, I don't know how exact that science is of picking up boobs and weighing them, but I mean, boobs are heavy. I've smothered myself in some boobs. They're heavy. I donated to that committee. I have almost permanent indentations from those stupid... Anyone with boobs bigger than me, this isn't going to do shit. It is comical that this is a strap for a bra. What's this doing? This is, by the way, I'm wearing a sports bra. A bra that's supposed to add additional support for running. Riddle me that. Corsets, no shit. Corsets were the shit. I know I preach about these all the time. I've read a lot of history on corsets and shit, and I'm sure you guys know this by now because I preached about it too long. But corsets were originally the perfect support. You could do sports in corsets. They had different corsets for different activities of the day. Corsets were never intended nor designed to nip your waist into a dangerous point of being a wasp. Saying all corsets were meant to do that is like saying everyone out there getting Botox is blowing their face up like someone who like Madonna. No. I'm sure you know a handful of people who have injections in their face and you don't even know because it's so fucking subtly done and so wonderfully, delicately done that it looks nice and natural, or they're getting it for Botox, for migraines or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost sure of it. There's always someone who takes it to the extreme. So no shit, there was this thing called the Edison girl. And essentially someone drew a cartoon for a magazine ad that showed someone in this new Edison corset with a waist this big around. And people looked at that and went, I bet I could do that in real life. And then historians went, all corsets are death. No. I've worn them. A properly fitting corset is the most comfortable thing you'll ever put on your entire life because they're steel boned from the hip up. And so all of the support to hold your titties up here is coming from all of this steel bonage that is literally kind of creating like a funnel to hold you like this. It was literally just meant to hold all that shit in up appropriately and have support that was comfortable. And then people did icky things with corsets and made them super tight. And we have evidence of like ribs being punctured into livers and shit from people going too far with fashion, as we're still fucking doing. Kim Kardashian literally just did a corset on the fucking runway and her waist was what, like 16 inches or something disgusting? I don't even know. We're still doing it. But because of that, we started cutting away at the corset because we didn't want people suffocating. And we were like, no, if we just have some material here, that'll totally support the boobs. It didn't. Like, none of that happened. We literally went from function to looks. There's no function in proper bras anymore. And like appropriate, there is none. There's no support there. Versus original corsets were absolutely, like, there's so much cool history. Like, Bernadette Banner, I think is her name. She's a really cool garment historian on YouTube. There's a few that I follow that are so fucking fascinating. And they go over the history of this because there's a lot of misinformation out there that makes us scared of that stuff. But a properly fitting to get a corset properly fitted, honestly, first, make it. Second, find someone who makes them and have them size it to you. There are websites out there, though, like seamstresses on Etsy and whatnot, who they will make you a custom corset via your exact measurements. So, like, you'll buy a custom corset from them, and they'll say, okay, what's your measurement? Here, 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 here. Like, all of these crazy measurements, and they'll make it custom to you. The problem with that is there's a science and an art to how to appropriately tie a corset onto your body and not hurt yourself. And that's where you need someone to teach you. Where I got taught was Ren Fair. Renaissance fairs are amazing for this because that is all crafts made by people's hands. They made them, they made them, and they know how to fucking put them on, and they will teach you how to put them on appropriately. So even if you don't want to buy the corset from a Ren Fair, going to a Ren Fair or something like that and finding a corseter and learning how to put one on and like learning what it feels like when one is fitted appropriately to you and is put on appropriately is night and day. Night and day, because you can absolutely hurt yourself just putting on a corset willy-nilly and trying to like suck your waist in all tiny and whatever. It can get very dangerous, so be safe. Thank you, Sronlin. That's Bernadette Banner. She's fantastic. If you follow her channel, just follow everyone she suggests ever. They do so much amazing historical context on garmentry and shit like that I find fascinating because we know the lies. We just know lies, you know? She'll go through movies and like, you know, not correct, but like critique the fashion of them and say like, well, this is a French fold where this is an English court, so it would actually look like this. I love that stuff. I think it's so fascinating. Oh man, I haven't been to I haven't been to a Ren Fair in ages either. Bones. Nowadays, it's not whalebone anymore. You can get two different kinds of boning. Nowadays, there is like imitation whalebone, and then there's steel boning. I'm a fan of steel boning, but this is literally boning. I made a corset. But this is what was supposed to hold you up. And there'd be all sorts of these lining your waist, and then that cup right there would form, and it would lift your breasts up without killing your body. Steel boning's cool. I'm trying to think of what the other stuff's called. It's like, it's not steel. It's some sort of, it's like imitation, you know, whalebone, but it's not whalebone anymore. And I just cannot remember what it's called. It works really good. I try to stay away from plastic in all forms. That's cocky, no shit. That Rocky Horror Picture Show might have been my first exposure to corsets in a sexy way. Like, in a way where that's all you're wearing and maybe your boobs popping out on one side. Like, I haven't seen Rocky Horror in years. What's the redhead? What's her name? Magenta? Is it Magenta? No, not the fluffy redhead, short redhead. But, like, her nips are peeking out the top. And I was like, oh shit, corsets aren't just like some Victorian, you know, chastity machine. They're hot. Like, this is hot. Columbia. Yes. Hot. Like, shit. I think Magenta had the big red hair, right? Yeah. That shit I was like, oh man, corsets aren't just, you know, to make you smaller. Like, they're sexy. 100%. Barry Bostwick. No shit. I don't remember. Now I have to look it up, Glenn. I honestly haven't seen it in so long, I don't remember. Rocky. It's one of those movies I've seen so many times that every time I go to watch it, I'm like, didn't I just watch this? Let me see. Columbia was short hair. Magenta was poofy hair. We'll forget that in 10 minutes, but we know it for now. Cheers. I had it backwards. No. I mean, I had it backwards originally. I mean, who the fuck cast 2 hot redheads in one show? Jesus Christ. It doesn't. What is a steel bone corset? Waist training corset. Steel bone corsets are made from strong yet flexible fabric that's reinforced with steel boning, but they don't. I gotta look it up. There's a name for the other kind of boning. Corset boning. What are you? Oh, it's just polyester. It's literally polyester boning. Yeah. It's just polyester. Okay, cool. I couldn't remember. Crispy. Wait, Crispy had never seen it? Wait, had never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show full stop, or had never seen it live? Ooh, what kind of tincture? 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 I was gonna say, how? This is one of those moments where we're all gonna have to deduce how the fuck Crispy missed out on seeing Rocky Horror Picture Show. I saw that when I was in 3rd grade. I was way too young, but I definitely saw it in 3rd grade, and it was formidable. What's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm saying. Wait, had he never seen Rent? Wow. Formative! Thank you, that's the word. Formative. Thank you. That was the one I was trying to find. You haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show all the way through? No shit. It's... I don't even... It's great. How... It's a cult classic. I don't know if I can say, like, it's a fantastic film, but boy, is it entertaining. Because we're all sweet transvestites from planet Transylvania. Ha ha ha. Huh, huh. I'm just a sweet... I'm sorry. It's, so, if you're not watching this movie because it's a musical, please, for the love of God, watch it. This isn't a that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to describe it as a musical because I know a lot of you will be like, nope, I'm out. It's not that. How do you even describe it? It's just a jump to the left and a step to the right. You just put your hands on your hips and put your knees inside. And let your pelvis rock until it drives you insane. Yay. And then you do the time warp again. Maybe a rock opera. Yeah, the music isn't the central focus of it, and the songs are just really catchy ridiculousness. Thrust. I haven't seen this movie in... I feel like I need to watch it soon, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I've watched it since I lived in Colorado, which means it's been over 4 years since I've seen Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a really long time for me. Yeah, I haven't watched it in this house. I think I know. Movie night figured out, right? I feel... Once a year is plenty, and I just haven't watched it many. Because, again, it's one of those movies that I've just seen so many fucking times that every time I'm like, should I watch Rocky Horror? No, I just watched that. Like, I constantly am feeling like I just watched it because I can recite the whole thing. But, like, obviously I'm not anymore. I love Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd was great. Oh, 100% Rod. Very much so. Is it colored chapstick? It's actually, I think it's one of those lip balms that, like, allegedly changes... You know, they're like, it changes to the custom color for your skin, but really it just warms up and turns kind of pink because it's green. I love this lip balm. I can't stop putting it on because it's just so silky. I'm obsessed with it. But it's by Milani. It's drugstore brand. Milani, though, and it's like the hemp one. Green Goddess. Yep, it's literally called Transforming Lip Balm. One of those. There's no such thing as a lip balm that, like, custom changes to you, the tone of your lips, but it turns a little pink, I think. But it's green. It does match my hair. Ooh. Wonder if my pussy matches my hair, because your lips are technically the same shade. In my defense, hadn't seen some of the Cult Classics either, and I've been appalled. She's not seen Breaking or Breaking... Oh... How do you miss those? I feel like those were on TNT constantly. Damn it, Janet. I love you. Oh, Brad. Oh, Janet. I also can't say either of those names without continuing on that song. Broken inside. Broken. Rocky Horror wasn't my thing, really. I enjoyed it, but not on a cultish level like some. I totally get that. There's some cult classics that I probably don't drive with. I can't even think of right now. Seriously? Oh, Emma, that makes me happy. Sweeney Todd was fantastic. You have yet to see Heathers in full? The Heathers is dark. We watched that in movie night a few weeks ago. That's one you got to be in the mood for. The Heathers is on the same line as, like, Jennifer's Body and Mean Girls times 10. Oh, The Heathers is great. It's a great movie. Like, but... Yeah? Okay. Lilith says, I'm a bitch. Yeah, you can see when she licks her lips, she puked a little when she barked. You good? My little haunted Victorian child. You okay? Big stretch. Oh, it's a big stretch. How you doing, Miss Puke Mams? You doing better? Less barfy? You're just gonna lick my leg instead? No shit. That is... I'm not kidding you. I found her with Trick's bone this morning. Like, right afterwards, she was trying to eat Trick's bone. I've learned nothing. Please give another. Literally, she is Tom Segura's mother. Tommy? I know what you did last night. You tried to kill me. But you did not. I am still here. And tonight, I would like another gummy. That's Lilith. Thank you for licking the lotion off my leg, baby girl. I appreciate you. Hi, Jade. How are you, love? Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you think of the new Beetlejuice? I'm very tentative to see it. She's the sweetest baby in the world when she loves you, and she loves a total of 3 people in this world. It is myself, it is Zach, and it is Rod. And that's it. So, you probably won't see that side. And Vile. And this. That's it. There's the end of the list. And that's just by proof that she fucking growls and hates everybody else ever in the world. You hate everyone. You have, how many is that? 5 people? She loves 5 people? 5? Yep, and it's not me anymore. See, Panda, I'm so tired of all the remakes. I'm so tired of the shitty remakes and the shitty sequels. I don't want them. She tends to love women in general. Men, she literally, when I say she loves Zach, Vile, and Rod, those are the 3 men that she has ever tolerated. And by love, I mean tolerate. Ever. She hates everybody. I don't know what it is. Dogs, she's fine with. Men? Not like aggressive, scared of them, just wants nothing to do with them. Sits across the room from them, leaves the room from them, just totally uninterested in you and your existence. Women, however, she's a fan. She does like women. If she finds safety in women. No shit, Cocky, she'd probably love you. It's real. She's just picky. Whereas Trick, he would invite the robbers in. You know what I'm saying? You would invite in the criminals, wouldn't you? Come here, my boy. Oh, it's a big boy. Hi, Bubba. How are you? Are you having a good day? Did you not puke? Yeah, because you're a good boy. He just my sweetest, perfect baby boy in the whole world. I mean, Zelda's kind of the same, honestly. Like, aside, she doesn't growl or anything, but Zelda, like, we take her to the dog park. She doesn't give a fuck about anybody or their dogs. She just walks the perimeter on her own. She's like, whatever, I own this. Just trots it. She's just Miss Independence over there. It's adorable. Poodles are very cat-like that way. They can give. I love that. Honestly, I kind of like that trait of theirs. No shit, my cousin's dog is the same and she loves me when I visit. There's something about some people's energy vial, and I know you probably know that. I don't know if it's men versus women. It's just in our experience thus far. She likes all the women who have come over, and the men she's very picky about for some fucking reason. No idea. I've had her since she was born. She's never had a bad experience. Like, she's been fine. But she's just particular. And I think it's the energy of who comes. Like, you and Rod have similar energy of just, like, casual, relaxed, calm. You don't, like, rush. And none of this has happened to her. It's not like anyone's rushed her or anything. But that is things that would happen that I would understand. Like, oh, yeah, I'd get anxious if someone did that, too. I think people just have an energy sometimes. And she picks up on it. Oh, a Scotty. Oh my god, cute. I love Scotties so much. No shit, Rage. Seriously? I love that then. I got like the two extremes. There's two types of poods. There's the most laid back pood you can ever think of, who's just love all the time. And then there's Lilith. Bless her heart. She's sweet and she's a loving cunt. But she's a cunt. Thanks, Bubba. And you're just sweet. You love everybody. You really love Rod, though. He still looks for you in the spare bedroom. You love my lotion. I put cocoa butter on my legs and now they're just eating it off. You're such a good boy. When Rod was streaming, there was Trick just demanding attention. Lil walked up and I swear a small shot. No shit. I'm not kidding you, Jade. Since day one, I mean, since Lilith was a puppy, people have made comments along the lines of, who's that haunted Victorian child standing behind you in stream? She is and always has been the haunted Victorian child in the back of stream. Because Trick comes up and he wants to hang out and he wants to be pet and like lick and do what dogs do. She just sits behind me and stares at the camera like, tell her I'm here, you bastards. She does. She has angry girl ghost vibes. She does. And her eyes, Zelda has the same. So Rod has a poodle as well. Whomstuff is related to these guys somehow. They're from the same breeder. And from, I mean, Zelda and Lilith are so fucking similar looking. They have to be related. And they both just have this crazy human characteristic to their eyes that is weird. I don't know if it's because they're so big you can actually see the whites, or it's because their eyes are so, like, bright and, like, golden. But when they look at you, it's like people eyes, and it's very unsettling. And I don't know. It's so weird to me because I have no idea what she's looking at, but she's obviously looking directly at you. How does she know that? When she stands behind me? Now they're going to play. Wag your butt again, babe. Everyone saw it. Oh, maybe that's it. It doesn't hide like that creepy vestigial eyelid. There are men watching. I can smell them. That's Lilith. I accidentally, like, created Lilith. My bad. When I was a teenager, my best friend came over to have a sleepover. My cat, at the time, saw him, hissed, and ran. My friend looked me in the eyes and said, you know cats can sense evil, right? Did we invite this friend over again? I did. No shit. And get this. My dogs are named after characters Zach and I portrayed in roleplay games. Like, that's the only reason we have Trick and Lilith, is that was our names in a role-playing show that we met working in. working on. And she just fit it too hard. Did we just become best friends? Well, no shit. I have a similar story. So I have like sage bundles and sandalwood that sometimes I'll burn and walk around the house, and it just gives it a nice, like, I like incensey smells. I'm a hippie, so sue me. And no shit, the first time I ever did it when I moved in, Zach comes out of his office, like takes a break, comes out of his office, and he's like, "What is that smell? Do you smell that?" And I was like, "Yes, I do, you fucking demon." And every time I burn it, he comes out and he's like, "What is that smell?" And I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Sniff harder, demon. I don't know if he's a demon, but like, he doesn't know why I'm burning sage. She does haunt the house. We have a new female Jack Russell. Oh, cute. My roommate's nervous Nelly friend. My dog barks the whole time she's here, and they absolutely pick up on energy. I hate that my dogs know when I'm not having a good day and they like climb on me. No shit. The dude then grinned maniacally and laughed his ass off. That sounds like something I would have done as a child, and the reason I had no friends. Story. Have I ever told you about how I used to show friends my dad's ashes? Just speaking of another reason why Katie didn't have any friends as a child. I love Molly Ringwald, and I love that name. That's amazing. VR doesn't know that story. Okay. So, long story short, my dad died when I was 7. That's over with. It's fine. I don't remember him. Don't worry about it. Dad died when I was 7, and he was cremated. And when he died, like, he was an alcoholic forever. And essentially, according to my mom, what happened was when he was, like, in college or something before she knew him, he must have contracted hepatitis, fucking around with needles or drugs or something, because it was the 70s. And hepatitis is one of those evil things that can hibernate in your body for months, for years. And just like one day, all of a sudden, hepatitis, and you're gone in 6 months. It's crazy. So like my dad was a raging alcoholic, and then the hepatitis from a dirty needle when he was like a youth kicked in when he was like 48 years old, 49 years old. And he died really fast. And so my mom's like Hail Mary trying to sober my dad up was to quit her job as a respiratory therapist because he got fired from his job as a respiratory therapist, move to Eastern Washington, buy a Hunter motel in the middle of nowhere, the one I was talking about earlier, and she knows this was stupid now. We've talked about this, so it's not like I'm talking shit. But my mom, in her mind at the time, she was like, all right, so Jim is miserable. This is why he's an alcoholic. If I can fix him, our relationship will be fixed. Like, let's move to the middle of nowhere and have babies and run a motel. Because in her mind, if he can work from home, maybe he won't be so sad and won't drink all the time. Yes, we all see the logic fail here. She does now too, but she was my age. She was literally 36 when this went down. Like, she was very young and stupid. So moves him to the middle of nowhere to work in a motel where he can work nights and essentially just drink himself into an early grave. He was literally just like guzzling half gallons of vodka, and he was so out of it. This is my mom's stories, that he would hide the empty half gallons, like with the handle, in the washer and dryers of the hotel. Like the motel, excuse me. It was one level, like literally a strip of rooms. Motel, washer and dryers. It's wild. I was so young. I have no conscious memory of this. So anyways, he dies, but because she did this whole like Hail Mary of move us to the middle of nowhere where my dad can now drink himself into an early death working a motel night shift, we had no family over there. We had no connections in Eastern Washington whatsoever. All of our family that was in Washington was in the west side, so she didn't want to bury him. She didn't want to pay for a plot or a gravestone or anything out in the middle of nowhere, Eastern Washington. But she also knew she didn't want to keep him, like the cremation, the remains. She didn't want to keep those because she was young and her husband died, and she chances are probably would remarry, and she just didn't want an urn of dead body in her house. So I don't know exactly how this happened because again, wasn't there, but like, all I know is for at least 15 years of my life, on the top of a short bookshelf, there was just this brown plastic box that had a picture of my biological dad taped onto the front of it with a piece of Scotch tape. And it was like my dad standing with a snow shovel in front of a giant pile of snow. And that was just like on the top of a bookshelf for years, and I knew that was my dad's cremated ashes. And if you like popped the lid off of it, it was just like literally a bag with a twist tie on it full of ashes and chunks of bones. Because back in the 90s, I guess it's more recent that we do this. Nowadays, we blend up your family members. I'm so sorry to inform you, but like a body takes a lot of energy to burn up completely, and bones take even more energy to burn up completely. So back in the day, we would burn a body as much as we could, and then we would just stuff it all into a box, and there'd be a lot of like, there'd be like teeth and bone shards that were like familiar. You'd be like, that might be an eye socket or whatever, and that used to freak people out because they'd look at the ashes. So now, after we burn up a body, we put it in a giant blender and emulsify it. So it's this nice powder to ease you into the death of your loved one. I don't know. It's crazy. So anyways, we had this box just sitting on top of a bookshelf for years, and I knew my dad was in it. And I don't remember why I started doing this or at what point, but I start, like, when I would invite a friend over for a sleepover or something, I'd be like, do you want to meet my dad? I was 6. So just, like, put that in context of scary little 6-year-old Katie. I had black hair that was chopped, bangs on my eyes, and I would just be like, do you want to meet my dad? Fucking just thinking of it, it horrifies myself. And they'd be like, okay. And I'd pull this box down and show them the picture and then pop the top and show them the bag, which was see-through. I mean, it was just a fucking bag of ashes. And I'd be like, that's my dad. And eventually, this fucking behavior that I still can't explain to this day evolved into me telling them, this is all of my dad except his penis, because his mom requested that part. If you didn't hear that over my dog coughing disgustingly on my leg, I would inform people that it was my entire dad except his penis, which his mother requested. Yeah. Where's my spray bottle? I know. Reason number 392 why Katie had no friends growing up. What up, Genova? How are you? Oh my God, David. So my dad died on a Sunday, and Mondays were show and tell. Do you want to know what I did the Monday after my dad died? I can't even make this up. I went to school and raised my hand when the teacher asked if anybody had any show and tell. And I went to the front of the fucking room. And I watched my dad die yesterday. My mom was called and I was taken home. And then I was taken out of school for a week because no kid should go to school the day after watching their dad die. What? These stories pop into my head after, like, weeks after my therapist's like, well, you think you had a pretty normal childhood, right? I'm like, yeah, I think I had a fairly normal childhood. No one's childhood's perfect. I think mine was fairly normal. And then weeks after I say that, I'm like, maybe not. I know better now. But don't these stories kind of explain how I got filtered into a career where I literally unplug Nana for a living? Like, it's when you hear those, it kind of makes sense why someone grows up to be gothic and kind of into death and metal and kind of death-related things. My entire childhood was death. Everyone was just dying all the time. My life has been death, let's be real. Everyone just keeps dying all the time. It's just like, someone has to do that respiratory therapy job, and I think I was kind of built for it. I don't do it anymore, but I did it great while I was there. I watched my dad die yesterday. That's literally what I did, but I was 7. I was a wee tyke. Fucking crazy. I've actually asked my mom why she sent me to school the next day, like the day after my dad died, and she said she was literally just like so lost. She was like, I just wanted some semblance of normalcy for you kids in any way, shape, or form, and I didn't want it to seem weird or strange. It got weird and strange anyways. I feel like I'll just make it weird and strange no matter what. I know. I love that you brought that up, David. I completely forgot about that. That I actually went to school the next day and told that for show and tell. To be fair, my mom probably should have told the school that that event had just happened, so maybe they were prepared for something like this. I don't know. Wait. My dad had to save himself hunting deer one time by instead, what? Ended up with a bear. So because this was unplanned, the head was in our deep freezer forever. Wait, shut up. The head of a bear? Oh, that's so metal. I think the only fucked up shit we had in our freezer was my pet turkey that my parents slaughtered, but then we raised pigs. I think I've definitely told you guys this before. We raised pigs growing up, and my sister would raise 2 pigs at a time, and the best pig she would take and show for like FFA or whatever, and then the other one we would butcher and keep all the meat. And the butcher, I don't think my parents requested this because who the fuck would? The butcher would always write the name of the pig on every package. So my entire chest freezer in the garage was like Harley chops, Blossom, sausage, etc. It just had their names on it. Which why? Like, did that even need to happen in the transaction? Did the butcher need to know we named our pigs? I still don't know. That was fucked up. It's a repressed memory. Yeah, it's one of them's. My sister tells me things about her childhood all the time because I don't remember anything, and I have to be like, damn, maybe that's why I'm like this. My sister remembers everything. I'll be here for a while, Katie, except for that one time. No shit, and what's crazy is I wasn't allowed to watch Addams Family or Daria or anything like that until I was like a teenager. I didn't see anything that I highly, strongly identified with until I was like a teenager because we didn't have TV. So I was basically just at the behest of whatever my parents bought. So it was a lot of cartoons, like a lot of, Disney and stuff like that. But yeah. Like, Wednesday Addams minus the cool part and just all of the creepy part. Because I wasn't, playing a part. That was just me. Just being me. You spent your childhood as a peripheral character in Les Mis. It totally looked like chopped up people in our freezer. 100%. Oh, absolutely. It was not a good look. Washington's a different story. I've shown you guys the picture of me playing with deer legs. Like, there's so many things in my childhood that absolutely established who I am today. What happens in your childhood forms who you are as an adult. But my parents have so many pictures of me running around our yard with a disembodied deer leg. And I know about half of the time why I have a disembodied deer leg. Like, where... The other half I can't recall. Like, where did it come... Why do I have it? I don't know, but I'm running around with a fucking disembodied deer leg. You can get a good look at a T-bone by sticking your head up a bull's ass, but wouldn't you want to take the butcher's word for it? Facts. Both of my sisters remember everything. I'm the only one whose ADHD CPTSD has taken the memory portion from I don't get childhood memories, probably for the best. Oh, yeah. I'd love to erase some of mine. That was just all raw Katie, 100%. It was just like my mom going, why does my kid do this? What did I do wrong? And me being like, dead hoofs are fun. I don't know. Hoofing it. Oh my God. Mellow. No shit though, really. I can remember select things, which mostly involved injuring my younger brother, i.e. running around the house and stepped on a blanket in his hand, broke his arm, ouch. Shot a giant Nerf missile at him, several stitches in the gum, telling him, you can definitely fly with cardboard wings off the swing set. Oh my God. See, I was a younger sibling, so all of that happened to me, you asshole. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if it had something to do with the divergent neurons, neuroning divergently. Oh, 100%. Oh, 100%. I mean, I still have something in me, and I don't know if this is part of my many fun little neurodivergencies that are going on upstairs, but like, I constantly, before doing things, especially out in public or out in, places with the public in general, I have to stop myself and be like, is this something is this normal? I hate that word so much. But like, I'll get excited when someone's telling a story and I'll be like, oh, I have a story that relates. But like, do I want these people to know that I spent my childhood playing with disembodied deer legs yet? And I have to stop and like rewind for a minute and be like, no, not yet. Constantly. And as a child, I definitely had this sense of like, I'd be doing something that I just wanted to do, which was probably walking around the yard with a deer leg, breaking ice puddles or something. And all the adults would be laughing. And I was like, I guess I'm funny and cute and not really registering they're laughing because what the fuck is going on? Why is that little girl playing with a disembodied deer leg? Why does she have this disembodied deer leg? Where's the roadkill? Did someone butcher a deer? What the fuck is going on? And I still have that where I have to be like, would other people think this is weird? Because I don't. And when I was a kid, I didn't ask myself, like there was none of that, like, would other people think what I'm doing is weird? So I would just do it. Like, when we had a pet turtle and it died, I wanted to dissect it. I wanted to see what the fuck was inside a turtle shell. So my mom was like, okay. And she brought home a bunch of scalpels and shit from work and she let me dissect under supervision our dead pet turtle. As an adult, I question, should I tell people we did that as a kid? Because maybe people think I'm a serial killer. As a kid, I was just like, I want to see what's inside that turtle. What's inside a turtle shell? Like, it's fascinating. And it was. And then my dad helped me dry the shell and we saved it and it was super cool. We didn't kill it. We're not disgusting. But like, there's something about that I think has to do with the neurospiciness where you just do. And until other people inform you that that's weird and society thinks you're weird, you don't even question it. You're just like, I'm just going about my day. And then they're like, nah, it's weird to wonder what's inside a turtle shell. And it's like, no, it's not weird to wonder what's inside a turtle shell. It's maybe weird to be a 5-year-old that wants to dissect a dead pet. You know? Deer leg, heathen witch, saucy wicked child! Me. I ran around with a diaper on my head, a tiny sports jersey, and a water gun shaped like an Uzi because I was a ninja. You were a ninja. I think my brother tried to Karate Kid his teacher in the face because he was a Ninja Turtle once when he was like in kindergarten. On Twitch chat constantly, me too. Constantly. That's why I love what we've created here because I feel like I don't have to do that. Like, I don't have to be guarded. It's science. I was tearing apart TVs and stuff too. I just wanted to know how things worked. Stories remember my childhood. Normal, very normal. Yep, totally normal. Totally normal. It was normal to have syringes and shit at home, right? No, it was dead. We couldn't make it any deader at all. And like, I had grown up around hunters. My dad hunted and I've told you guys this before, but like our driveway down that middle of that wheat field to our house was lined with like pieces of driftwood that my dad had taken off the beach, and he would put deer heads on them to desiccate, and then once all the flesh had been eaten off of them, he would take the deer head off and he'd mount it. It was awesome. It was genius. Instead of having like tubs of beetles, which is how professionals do it, but for a stranger driving down our driveway, they'd probably be thinking, the hills have eyes and I'm fucking dying. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Bubba. Is it break time? Hi. You're very cute. No shit, I feel that way too. Like, none of us here are like criming. We're just different. And I feel like when we talk about these stories, like Cena was like, these are childhood memories, very normal, super normal. But it's a lot more normal than I think we think it is. It's just people don't talk about it because they're like, well, someone told me it was weird once, so I'm not. No, we're all fucking weird. All kids are weird. Kids want to know how things are working. And honestly, I'm glad my parents, within reason, nurtured my curiosity. Because I'm still a curious person. When I go work in my yard, if I see a board that has been on one side for at least a few days, I'm gonna flip it. What if there's a cool bug underneath? I do that today. I did it yesterday. And I'm glad no one killed that curiosity in me, because what a tragedy to not be curious about the world and how it works. Like, I'm very happy that I still have that. And it was a blessing that my mom was a medical professional, so when I wanted to dissect my turtle that died, she could bring home syringes and safety equipment, and we could do it together in a safe environment. And then my dad was a hunter who preserved skulls and stuff, so he knew how to dry out the shell. Like, there was a whole situation there that just worked out sweetly, where it could have been very creepy. Like, if parents were like, no, that's super weird to dissect your turtle, and you wanted to do it anyways, so you did it in secret with a steak knife, and then you let it rot in your fucking closet. The story gets weirder depending on how the parents, I think, react to the environment, or the way the parents nurture the environment, I guess. Whereas instead it was like gloves and goggles and outside on the cement with my mom, and it was very safe. And my mom's a medical professional, so she could say, like, that's the liver, those are the lungs, like, these are the pieces. We're all pretty much exactly the same inside, and it's super fascinating. You know? I hear stories where it's like, oh my God, they were found dissecting their dead turtle in their closet. It's a lot creepier when you put it that way, but there's something that made that kid be secretive about what they're doing. And it's probably because someone made him feel dirty about it. And that's sad, because, like, what is a surgeon if not someone that's super excited to cut you up? I don't know. So many people are just one bad thing away from being a sociopath, but we choose not to later. 100%. We choose not to, and we choose to see why not to, I guess. I had a 5th grader look at me and said, seriously, I don't think you're weird. And I told her that was literally the first time anyone had said that about me. That's precious. What a sweet child. My kid used to be fascinated by animal poop. She'd let the dogs out just to watch her poop. I wanted to be like, you knew, gross. But instead I was like, well, this could create a DR one day. Literally. And also, you didn't make your child feel weird and taboo about something. And sometimes I wonder if that's where, like, some of the more kinks come from. Like, I just wanted to watch a dog poop and my mom hit me, and now I like when people shit on my chest. To just be very Cliff Notesy about it. You know, I wonder, like, is that where that shit comes from? Like, did a kid one time think it was funny to lick your foot and you kicked him in the face because you thought it was gross, and now they want to fuck feet? I don't know. Maybe. Is that a turtle in your closet? You just happy? Oh my god. Oh my god, Zach's mom is the most loving human I've ever met in my entire life. She's a fucking angel. Seriously. Holy shit. I remember I had a friend as a kid who would bury the sheep's heads from their in anthills. Oh, actually, that kind of makes sense to clean them off. I don't think we ever thought of it weird. It was just kind of cool once you understood why. Very exact. No shit. Once I explained why there was skulls on posts lining the driveway, people were like, oh, no, that's really cool. Because they'd see, like, my dad has a mounted moose rack in the basement. He has mounted deer antlers and shit like that. And they're like, oh, no, that makes sense. Because that's literally, like, how professional taxidermists and shit do it. They lay the bones and stuff in barrels of beetles. And the beetles eat all the flesh away, and that's how we get cleaned out bones and stuff like that. It's the most efficient way to clean out bones without using chemicals. It's normal once you know why it's happening. But when you just see it, it can be very unsettling. 100%. People also don't understand growing up in different places means different ways of growing up. Very much so. Like, I can't imagine being a kid in a big city. That really, I'm fine in big cities now. I travel and I love big cities. They're fun. But, like, I cannot what do you do? I can't imagine getting home from school and not throwing my backpack on the ground and running into the woods. Like, that was back, like, that one shoulder just kind of fell off of you on the floor right where your mom wants it, you know, in the walkway, and just into the woods. That was immediate, and my friends that were miles away would be in the woods, or we'd be meeting in the middle somewhere, and they would be doing the same thing. Throw backpack, and we'd meet, and then we'd build, like, fucking fairy forts and shit. I just don't know what to do without that. Like, what did you do? I just am not an indoor cat, I guess. Do you quack when you suck? What? Kinks fascinate me just because it is, literally, next time you rub one out, just pay attention to what gets you. Like, I'm sure you sit there and you scroll the porn and one of them hits you and you get that tingle and you jingle and you're like, maybe that's the one. Pay attention to the specifics and wonder why. I think about that shit a lot. Like, the certain things that, like, get me off particularly, I'm like, what? Why? Because we're all so different and unique in that, and it's formative. Something did it. I don't know what did it, but I'm curious about it. And you're not wasting the flesh. You're feeding other animals 100% and no chemicals. I think that's a huge package that I'm very much into. You're feeding nature, exactly. Same brains. Yeah. I don't have a place to keep chemicals away from the cat, so I just bury stuff out. That's the best way to do it. Honestly, I've heard that that's the best way to do it, because even chemicals can't get inside the bone, and the little bugs get in there, and they'll eat away the marrow and stuff, so you know there's not going to be any rot going on, because no one wants that. That is gross. Oh, no, thanks. I don't want to know anymore. Oh my god, I tried to put on the Serial podcast when we were gone, and Zach was so high I had to turn it off. It's on my to listen. The night I tried to put it on, literally, so we downloaded, like, a ton of that podcast, a ton of Supernatural, because we've both seen that before, and then like a couple movies, but everything we downloaded had to do with death and dismemberment. So when we got really fucked up, we were like, that's probably not a good idea to put on. So we just sit there and sing to each other. I was worried I'd send him into a trip. Like a bad one, and I didn't have Taco Bell to soothe his concerns. Polite language and no eye contact is what makes me stop the scroll. I wonder what that means. I hate the eye contact, honestly. I hate it in most things, though. Like, there's YouTubers. I know I feel like I'm making too much eye contact now. There's YouTubers that do, like, song YouTubes or music, I guess, is mainly where it bothers me. Where they never break eye contact, and we're having intimacy together, and it's never gonna stop while I'm singing this. And I just can't do it. I hate it so much. Stop looking. There's ways to look around and break this shit. Stop it, witch. Stop it. Same. When two people are fucking, and they're just like, yas. Yas. I'm like, look elsewhere. What is happening? Stop it. I know. Get out of my head, David. I'm literally thinking about the acapella groups. I'm so happy I'm not the only one because I feel like a jerk. It's 100% the fucking acapella groups that have to do it like this. Like we're a 90s boy group that can't stop not blinking at you. Why is it happening? Stop it. Oh my God. I'm not kidding. I'm literally thinking of, what is it? The Pentatonics. There's one girl in the Pentatonics who has a beautiful voice and I worship her and she's amazing. She does this shit where she's intimately I fucking you, and I hate it. All of it so much. It makes me so fucking uncomfortable. I can't even tell you. I'm so glad I'm not alone. Thank you. Thank you. Why? Why though? Are some people feeling it? Are they into that eye contact? Because goddamn does it make me fucking uncomfortable. Oh my God. So same. Lydia, I'm almost the same. Moving my eyes around and taking in different stimulation that isn't you directly keeps me part of the conversation, actually. You don't lock eyes and not look away when giving oral? How would you do that? I don't even know. How would you? I have to stop. How doth one? Germans are like that? Okay, I can't do that. No, I make more eye contact on camera than face to face. I can't face to face. I get squirmy. Same. I feel like it's a respect thing to make eye contact and like yes, I am listening to you even if I'm looking around or I'm picking my fingernail or something. I'm making eye contact periodically, let you know I'm still here. But doing this is going to make both of us feel so uncomfortable. It's got to stop. It has to. Me and my ex never made eye contact, but her head doesn't turn and bend away. I don't think I've ever made eye contact with someone while having sex or blowing them. Real talk, I don't... If someone straight up was like, look at me, I'd be like, no. Absolutely not. No, I hate it. Same. No. It's too, I couldn't do that. I couldn't, it's too personal. I don't know what that is. It's like, it's one thing for us to mush our gushies together. Intimacy on an eye level is a different, I can't do that. I don't know if I've ever managed that with anybody. Like, suck a dick any day. Eye contact? No. I'll read my book, thank you very much! Oh, rage 100%. I mean, if I could have a magic power, invisibility. Oh my God, invisibility. Hard, yeah. Hard, yeah. And I think a lot of it comes from, you know, as a kid, if I was in trouble or something, I was never hit or anything, but on occasion, my mom could get her finger, wrap it around a lock of my hair, and, are you listening to me? Faster than you can fucking blink your little whispering eye. And it was because I would be like, whatever, I know, whatever, mom, I know. And she'd whap, whap, whap. Do you though? And it was that eye contact that made me so scared because that was the fury kicking in. And I think to this day, that level of eye contact, I'm like, run away or run away. No. Shit makes me very, very uncomfortable. But I think it's something to do with that, probably. Probably. Oh my God, I can't even talk to myself in a mirror. It fucking freaks me out. With googly eyes, I didn't even know what those were until I was an adult. Touch sight synesthesia. So I have a visual experience with my sense of touch. So when my eyes gloss over, I'm seeing with my sense of touch like a blind person does with texture. It's a strange experience, but I use it to see in pitch black, having to run to the bathroom for a pee, plus ADHD prevents me from eye contact. Weird. I feel like I have something similar to that. I don't have synesthesia, but I definitely have this something like that. The way you described it feels hotly the way I kind of navigate the world in the dark. It's almost like a weird fuzz on everything. Whoa, my mother's a black belt. It was, oh yeah, not mine. My mom was raised by Irish Catholic nuns, though. So they might, like, different, but same level of hell, maybe. Just like physical versus psychological. Oh, I don't. 3 dot, no shit. I've learned, like, it was really weird. So as a kid, I couldn't make eye contact with anybody because of that whop whop, look at me kind of shit. It scared the fuck out of me. And then growing up, I learned that, like, you have to make eye contact with people when you talk to them. Otherwise, a lot of people will just think you're disinterested or you're not listening. So then I started making too much eye contact. Like, I know this. There was a period of, like, middle school, high school, where if someone was talking to me, I could unblinkingly just be like, that's fascinating. Wow. Crazy. Oh, my God. You're the most interesting. And it was unsettling. And then, like, late high school, college, I learned how to break that in intervals. I don't have to think about it anymore, but I literally used to count to 10 in my head because I constantly, my whole life was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Constantly in my head. I don't have to do it anymore, but it was a way of challenging myself to not stare at something for 10 seconds or more. Like, I just had to kind of brain fuck myself, you know what I'm saying? Mexican mom, the belt and the flip-flop kick my ass all day. Oh man, do you think the physical is worse than the mental? Sometimes I wonder. Luckily, she would laugh so hard. She was more worried to pee herself when the tables would turn and she would kick. Oh my God, that's kind of hilarious though. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. Anytime you get weirded out about googly eyes, just remember you've seen Kakie's tits with large googly eyes on them. Best googly eyes I've ever seen. Just facts. Bouncing slowly while she smokes a joint. Best googly eyes I've ever seen. Again, just to reiterate. I just realized I forgot to get googly eye pasties for Burning Man and it's over. I meant to do that. Fuck. Next year. I must make a note. That was a part of my to-do and I completely fucking forgot. No shit, Kel. Hell yes. Booby. Googlies. I'm pretty sure the eyes will cover literally my entire tit, but I'll do my best. There's always next year. Yeah. I mean, we already have a 2-page list of what we want for next year that we don't have already. It never ends. One good ass. Me too. How old were you? No shit. I was 3 and I remember it. My drunk ass dad whooped the fuck out of me. No idea why. I can't remember why. But I remember being whooped and then watching my mom verbally ream him from my, like, crib. I remember standing in my crib, holding, like, the crib railing after being slapped silly and watching them scream at each other. Crazy. Kids remember everything. I don't have an Alexa. Alexa, please add googly eye boobies to shopping list. I hope one of you gets those. Oh, send them to me. Yeah, send them to me in Discord if you can. Not right now, obviously, but whenever you get a chance, that would be sick. Did it work? I don't have AI in my house to fuck with, so I can do it to you guys all day long. Thank you for those biddies, Sylv. All right. On that note, we need to take our first break of the day. I have no idea how long it's been. We're supposed to be playing a game. We just got talking about titties, and you guys are... I'm so easily distractible. Stretch your legs, take a break, get a drink, load a bowl, do what you need to do, and... Hey, Alexa, please play Despacito. Oh, shit. In, like, less than 2 weeks, we're going to TwitchCon, and Rod's gonna come house sit for me again. So, like... Why not just fucking leave it? It's his. It's the lemon. I mean... I think this is a great lesson for Rod, and none of us choose our branding. I did not choose the class hole. The class hole chose me. Do you know what I'm saying? You guys did it. I didn't do it. Let's play this fucking game. I'm really excited. I want to play a couple hours of it at least. Jade, what's the video? Yes. I have to give you a permit. One moment. There you go. Agashobo. Vile, I have to make it, like, honestly, 7 bags. And I put it in bags to be nice. Like, how much more obvious can I make it? I genuinely don't know. Genuinely don't know how much more obvious I can make it. Other than just pouring dirt in the bed. It's fucking annoying. I don't know. Oh my god, Sronlin. Did you see the like pictures of the Olympians projectile vomiting when they got out of that river in Paris? It's pretty gnarly. Where's my music coming from? Pause. Okay, we have one video and then we're jumping into the game. I'm excited. This looks dope. Oh, wrong one every time. Every time. Just a little brain bleach before the game. Oh my god. Yeah, that's precious. That's one of those videos where you're like, why are you so cute? No one should own a baby kangaroo or a wallaby or whatever the fuck that was. But also, I want one. Oh, Nanigan, you seriously? Everything by London Grammar. Everything by her is so good. Her music videos are also really, really cool. They tend to be very, like, kind of artsy and stuff. I could go on and on. She's phenomenal. Seriously, I think it's exclamation playlist or exclamation song, it pulls up a link to the YouTube playlist, which is like really big. It's called The Tits, and it's like every Faded Friday we've ever had, I add all of that music. That's whenever I say to the tits with you, it's going straight to that playlist. It's an enormous playlist, but it's literally all the music the community and we have all collectively loved for so many years now. It's kind of fucking huge. It's literally huge. But if you want more music, it's a jumble fuck. But it's there. There's a lot. Oh, also Faded Friday. So no shit, we have 2 now. Thank you for reminding me, Glut. So there's that one, which is like the community made one. And then there's the Faded Friday exclamation FF, which Glut has been putting together, which I still don't know how he's doing it because I've tried to do this and I just get crap. But he goes through and he finds music that has like little to no views that is great. Like really good. If you ever hang out in our movie nights at night, we start them at 7 p.m. Eastern and we just hang out for like 4 hours and put on random movies. In between and during breaks, Glut will put on that FF list. Almost universally, we're all like, this song's great. That song's great. Wow, that song's great. I don't think anyone's been like, man, that song. There's so much good music out there. It's just so fucking hard to find. It's buried. Meme nights, exactly. Literally meme nights. Yeah. It's our it's our heavy meme nights. Okay, the game updated. I'm going to move chat so I can see you guys. I want to play a couple hours. This game is phenomenal. If you didn't catch any of it yesterday, holy shit. It's called Gory Cuddly Carnage. And we basically play the world's cutest cat that rides a hoverboard. And then we slaughter mutant unicorns. It's wild. But it's so much fun. Like, I really enjoyed it a lot. Dude, I can't remember the last time there was a miss, to be honest. There's probably one, but they are far outnumbered to the hits, to be honest. Please, please. You already updated. Let's... is where we'll call it for the day, because I'm way over time, and we have movie night in like an hour, and then tomorrow's day off day, so if you got nothing to do, around 7 p.m. Eastern every night, we put on movies in the Discord in a channel called Shh, and there's also a text channel for that called Shh Text Channel, and we meme a lot in that, and it's super fun. But other than that, that's it. That's all I got. I'm going to save it, and we're going to continue this on Tuesday. Like I said, I'm really on major lookout for these baby geckos to be born. That'll be a big part of stream, like building an enclosure and shit for them, which they haven't done yet. I did, last night, I did like a flashlight, like put the little egg on flashlight to make sure there's definitely little babies in there, so that'll be really exciting. There was something else. I don't know. We have games to play. We have things to do. That's it. I'm gonna raid my friend. Yeah, we don't talk in the movie channel. We literally sit in silence and just meme in a text Discord or text channel. That's it. I don't know. Day off tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Take your joy. Do something fun. Drink water. Wash your hands. All of the good things. I'll miss you. Day off. First day off since coming back. But we'll be back Tuesday refreshed. Pee after sex.